Tonight's episode of the Outsider Insider Live is brought to you by
the Kahat Airlines. Khan understands luxury international airline service. When the trip is more important than your destination, fly the Kahat Airlines.
The Kahat Airlines prides itself on having the highest trained pilots in the northern Himalayas. Oh, who cares where you want to go, man? Like it's the trip that matters. And I will get you somewhere, somehow, eventually.
We will take out the Missouri this time! This time the Missouri goes down!
All seats on board are luxury seating with the loveliest of flight attendants to serve the finest Kanunistani cuisine, all made with the legendary Kahat special recipe.
Try the brownies, man. They are righteous out of sight, darlings.
Yes, for a trip you may never want to come down from, fly the Kahat Airlines.
Kahat Airlines. Get high on the plane while you are high on the plane.
Kahat Airlines is a subsidiary of Kanunistani Travel Agency, owned and operated by the Royal Governor of Kanunistan. Kahat Airlines' times of departure and destinations may change at any time, even mid-flight. All travel is at the whim of the flight crew or any cool ideas suggested by hip passengers. Reservations and bookings are not guaranteed. Passengers with gullible personalities and large bank accounts are welcome. Squares and uncool types are asked to seek travel via other means. All information is on our website as soon as we get around to finishing it. Kahat Airlines is not responsible for lost luggage, passengers, or planes. Fly Kahat Airlines. This channel is a not-so-proud member of YouTube's all-encompassing special society of heavily overwhelmed layout enthusiasts. Check any railway show, check any railway club, check any layout, check your own house. You'll find one of us somewhere. Warning, the content of this stream is not suitable for children under the age of 16. The topic, language, themes, attitude, and personality of the presenter is not appropriate for anyone, much less children under the age of 16. Topics discussed will not center on trains and will focus on anything except politics. It just happens trains are running. Any similarity between characters, situations, trains, and intelligent thoughts is strictly a coincidence. Any rebroadcast or transmission of the stream without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Viewer discretion is advised. Remember the 3 rules for model train layouts and pretty much anything. It's your layout, do what you want as you want. Do not tell someone else what to do unless they ask you directly what they should do. Do not call out, mock, criticize, or insult another channel on your channel or anyone else's channel. Thank you for your cooperation. Hey everybody, happy Friday to you all, if it's still Friday where you are. Let's see who's all here. Let's get straight to the greetings as they came in. Hi Leslie, great to see you. Another couple of great videos up this week. Mark at Hemmeldown, thank you for coming in. Tim JD, one of the pillars of our community here, thank you. Also got up a few videos this week. Chris, great to see you. Yeah, Joyce had a lot of fun doing that video and chatting with you. Let's see. Who else? Christopher is here. Hi, Christopher. Great to have you. Clive, welcome in. And I saw Kiwi Dave. Greetings to New Zealand, the other land down under. Kyle Stevens, Joseph Agliato, Jason the Train Freak is here. Hello, welcome in. Hey, Andy from Warwick Road. Nice. Welcome in. Roy, Simon, how are you? We talked yesterday online. I assume situation's still pretty much the same. Jerry, the Caledonian, how are you, sir? And Edward, Happy Valleys is here. Nice to have you. Did I skip anybody? I think I said Kyle. So great to see everybody on this Friday. I want to apologize in advance. This is not me. I have watched a lot of OBS streams this week, the last couple of weeks. They're all having this problem. OBS is having issues, and instead of going through StreamYards like some people do, I go straight through OBS. And OBS is having a bitrate issue where right now they're only maximizing at 51, and I broadcast at anywhere from 4,500 to 6,000. So anytime I go over 6,000. So you are getting that where it goes along for a bit, freezes, the audio is fine, but the video is screwed up. That's not on my end. That is OBS. And I don't know when they're going to address this issue, but that is the situation. Hey, I see George came in. There's George. I didn't do much this week. I've been babysitting. The last 2 weeks, I have had my grandson Kyan over, which has been awesome. But Kyan has a lot of things he wants Opa and Oma to do. He wants to go to the park. He wants to go in the backyard and pick berries. He wants to come down and run trains. And while he's running trains, he sits here and plays with all my little 187 cars. And he likes to mess with some of the cars on the programming and testing tracks that I have down here. He likes to mess with those while he's watching the trains. So by the time he leaves, Grandpa is tired. The only thing I did this week is I bought a few packages of these. These are these, you know, you can get them in a million different ways or forms, all these generic companies, but they're all these Chinese miniature. These are seated passengers that are going to go in a lot of my trains. I'm finally going to start putting passengers on more of them. Also, my new Regio double-deckers, both the new one that I got last week, which is actually old stock, but never used, and I'm very happy with it. I actually got the full consist, and they actually work going both directions. Hey, Possum Bio, welcome in. So I got a crap load of these that I'll be putting in when, I don't know. Got a lot of other things going on, still dealing with some DIY issues around the house that I got to get to work on, and kind of tearing some things apart to decide what can I do, what should I do, and should I leave it alone. Because the guy that owned this house before me, even though we've been in this house since 1993, the guy that owned it before me remodeled it in 1987, and he did almost all his remodeling illegally. And so every time I open a project, I have to get it to code. Because electricians, although I do most of my wiring myself, there are some things I prefer a professional electrician to come in and do. Certain aspects of plumbing, and every time they come in they say, I can't touch this because it's against code. So you either have to redo all of this and get it up to code, and I'm like, yeah, redo it and get it up to code. Hey, Andy from March West Junction is here. Nice to have you. Cool little premiere video today. Or was that yesterday? Time's blurred. So anyhow, that's the only thing. I do have a couple of projects with that big box of track I showed you that came in last week that I haven't started with that yet. I don't know when I'm going to get with that. I have to talk myself into shutting down parts of the layout and ripping all that out. And you have to do it, but there's a part of me that's like, I don't have to. This week, like I said, I have put in more hours running trains this week and last week than I have in the previous year. Literally, Kyan is down here and he wants to run trains, and I give him one of the controllers, and I'm teaching him, even at 19 months, I'm teaching him how to speed the train up and slow the train down and hit the horn button. So he likes to do that. He likes to hit the horn buttons a lot, but he really likes to, he's like his Opa. He just wants to sit back and watch him go. Now we've gotten him saying hello every time one of the trains comes past. He waves hello to it. But it's really funny because he speaks a different language than the rest of humanity right now, but he is learning some English words. And my daughter is also teaching him sign language, so that with a lot of words, sign language. So like trains with him right now is teen, 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 teen. That's how he says trains. Teen, teen. He gets the TR out and maybe can get an N in there. Teen. But he knows how to say please, which I guess is this in sign language. So he'll do this. I'll be sitting in my chair. He'll come and grab me by the fingers. Opa, come this way. And he'll either take me to the patio door, which means he wants to go outside in the backyard and pick berries, or he'll take me to the side door because he wants to go for a walk, or he takes me to the gate, to those stairs right there, because he knows that's where the trains are. And he'll go, T, please, T, please, T, please. And it is the cutest damn thing you've ever seen. And yes, this channel will use the word cute. We're not all a bunch of manly men here. We can talk about how cute our grandchildren are. Or at least on this channel you're allowed to. Hey, the plumber, how are you not knighted? I now declare you a knight of the rhomboid table. Welcome in. So anyhow, let us get to some trains running, because there's no reason to babble much any further without showing some trains going. How is everybody doing? I asked a couple of questions, so let me go back and see if I got the replies on them. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm dealing with, Jason, with the latency issues. But really with them right now, it's a bit rate. Now, if I were to broadcast in 720 instead of 1080, I wouldn't have the problem. But I broadcast in 1080. Still might go home this weekend. Well, I'll keep my fingers crossed too, Simon. Simon, I have 3 friends online on YouTube. There are 3 YouTube, we talk about the YouTube model train community, but even if we are one big community, we're divided up into cells. There are people that are connected here to each other, but they're not connected over here. And one person might be connected to this group and that group. We're just a giant Venn diagram of communities, okay? The model train community is a Venn diagram of communities. Anyhow, SJ Railfish, Simon. If you guys don't know, SJ Railfish, his real name is Simon. Sorry, Simon, if you didn't want me to give out your real name there. There are 3 model train community members that are basically dealing with the same issue at various things. There is... Okay, why did we all stop there? Come on, pick up speed, guys. I'll go over the trains in a minute. But there's Redbird Tony. So if you know what Redbird Tony is going through, Simon has similar issues. And then there is Eric, known as Darth's Eye, who is a very small channel. Very few of you would know Eric at Darth's Eye. He's a great young guy, but he also has the same situation Simon and Redbird Tony have. And they're all struggling with it right now. So the Plumber 33, if you want to drop the link to your channel here and see if you can pick up subscriptions, go ahead. That's why everybody's a moderator here. Hey, Kieran's here. Howdy, Kieran. Joyce will be coming down a little bit later. We do not have Kyan today, so we are grandson free right now, but I'm sure when he wakes up from his nap at home, he will pop on one way or the other. I've loved having him around. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's what I thought. Yep. That's going to be an issue. If not, I'll just turn them around and have them run the other way. See, at that stupid point, that's why you're seeing a stoppage. It's that same point I need to replace. So that's why I'm running trains in a different direction on that point, and that's where I get these stoppages. And I know exactly what train it seems to be. It's my new 245. So it's not the locomotive, it's the point. Well, there, how about that? Plumber, somebody already posted your link to you. Hey, Mark, lurking in the background. Ah, you look a right lurker, don't you? Let me see, if this happens again on his third pass, I'm just going to reverse his direction and just be done with it. Trying to see if maybe if I get him up to his speed, it won't be an issue. Well, he went through it that time, okay. So anyhow, yeah. The big event is, of course, over the weekend and the first part of this week, I posted all the videos about meeting fellow YouTubers. Now, if you didn't catch my live streams and my posts from when I was in the UK, and you didn't watch those 5 videos, what the hell's your problem? Get off the schneid and watch those videos, damn it. I post them. They're there to be watched. Come on, get those videos watched. But yeah, I posted those videos. That was a lot of work because I have hours and hours. Even the one that was 30 minutes, that's only about 1/8 of the video I had. But I tried to get video where I was filming at least some of the members of the YouTube community that were there. I have been to Germany 16 times. 14 with students, twice with just Joyce and me. And our trip to the UK, the more we look back on it, the more we talk about it. And by the way, if you're not subscribed to Joyce's channel, and it might take me some work to put a link up to Joyce's channel, but I'll try. There we go. So I'll post the link here. That's Joyce's channel there, if you're not subscribed to Joyce's channel. Well, we all look a little, you know, the camera puts on 10 pounds, they say, or 20 pounds, they say. Yeah, Chris, but you put a lot of years into those 18 years. You've put a lot of living into those 18 years. Either that or you're counting them as dog years. Oh, my. Yeah, it just... Joyce also put up a half an hour long, which is long for her, but Joyce has her own channel where she occasionally posts stuff about her connection to model trains, or in this case, the trip to the UK and meeting people from YouTube. So she's got a post over there. She doesn't post a lot, but it's one of those channels you can subscribe to, and you're not going to get notifications all the time. And usually her posts are 10 minutes or less. Although this one was 20. Hey, Josh W56 is here. All right. So yes, that's what we do. We all subscribe to each other. But then watch and like. And comment. The more channels you subscribe to, the harder it is. But that's why it sounds terrible. But I keep my subscription number down. I'm subscribed to well over 300 channels, which is weird because 1,100 are subscribed to me. So I'm bad about reciprocating. But I keep my subscriptions down so that I can actually interact with the people, that I have time to watch their videos and comment on their videos. So that's a big deal for me. That's a very big, too bad the camera doesn't add hair. Yeah, I wish it did. But, you know, I had my hair when I needed it, Edward. I had my hair when I needed it. And the thing is, Joyce does have a thing for bald men. Don't ask me why. Joyce does like bald men. She also likes a nice full head of hair, but she likes bald men, so I guess I'm lucky in that regard. But I had hair when I met her. I had hair for the first 15, 20 years we were together. It started leaving me in the 30s. So I kept Joyce and lost my hair. I think that's a good trade. A lot of guys keep their hair and lose their partners. Me, I kept my partner and lost my hair. I'll take that trade. Hey, Efo, how are you? That would be cool to see that, Efo. Well, Leslie, wait till you get part 2 of Joyce's take. Joyce's second video, I will give you the working title right now. Her second video is My Trip to the UK, Things That Confused Me About the UK. That's the working title, and she'll be filming it this weekend and posting it probably on Sunday. But at the risk of tooting my own horn, or my wife's horn, you guys all realize, and whether it's because she's my wife or whatever else, Joyce is one of those people, like Alan put it best, you never stop smiling. Joyce loves life. Joyce loves life, and she likes to be around people that also want to smile and laugh. But anyhow, the trains I'm running today, in no particular order, are, I'll try to catch them as they come around. Yeah, that 245, every now and then he just catches that one. See, that's why I need to take those turnouts out. I'm going to see if I turn them around, if it will stop doing that. I want to see if he's going up it, if it'll stop doing it. But that's that turnout. That is that same turnout. So my 245 is another loco that has problems with that turnout. Yes. So what I am running, right there, Let's see if I can catch it up real quick, up the ramp. I am running, coming around in white and red here. Do, 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 do. That is my ICE-4. That is the newest generation of German ICs. That's the ICE-4. Coming up the incline is my Class 245 with the double-decker German Regiobahns. That's the commuter trains in Germany, the double-decker commuter trains. They're called Durchstockwagen in German. Durchstock. And then, let's see, what camera could we do next? Let's do 11 lane. All right, coming down the 11 lane is a Czech Eurocity Express being pulled by a German Austrian Taurus. Taurus is a type of locomotive. It'll come back around again so you can see it. But here it comes. It's being pulled by a Beethoven Taurus. Whoops. And we've had a separation. A derailment. Or an uncoupling. That's the word I'm looking for. Oh my goodness. 245. Why are you giving me grief today? Just come on. Work with me. That's going to be one of those days today. Hey, Jean Ricard, how are you? So those blue cars are Czech, and then that yellow is Metronome. Metronome is a private German commuter traffic company that runs into and out of Hamburg, Germany. So this EC right here with the Beethoven locomotive. No, the problem is it's two different company couplers mixing. It is a Märklin coupler and a Rocco coupler, and sometimes they don't get along because I am out of Märklin couplers to change it. I have gotten so many cars that I've had to put Märklin couplers on. I ran out of Märklin couplers. Yes, I need to order some more, but unfortunately, I ran out after I did my last big German order. Anyhow, that metronome there, it's being pushed by Urgh. 245, you've been such a great runner, but I put you on lane 3 and all of a sudden we're having issues. I'm not happy with that. Alright, well, he's going to uncouple one way. At least this way he won't uncouple. I'll just deal with the little quick shorts. Whoops. Okay, what I will do is, let me stop the trains just for a second. If you are new to the channel, have not seen my control system, I am going to take this camera and make you sick. First of all, shaky hands, remember that. But I will take you on a tour one more time. My official controller is this. It is called the Märklin Central Station 3, or just the cool people call it the CS3. This is the Märklin Central Station 3. This is basically a computer that runs my layout. Now, on the back of it, I have one power coupling that runs to the main track and a second coupling that runs to my programming track. That's it. This entire layout, all these trains is being run by one power connector with no dead spots anywhere. That's one of the advantages of AC. This big a layout, there's no buffer wires, there's no bus wires running additional support. This whole thing is being powered by my Central Station 3. Now, I do not have anything automated. I don't use JMRI. I don't use iTrains. My trains just run in circles. I have ADD, and I don't need an automated system. I like to just have 6 big circles and, 3 big circles and 3 short circles. I will put the map up here real quick so you can see, for those of you that are new and never seen it. This is my train table. So I will start on that side, which is called the Bremen side, because it's eventually going to become Bremen Station, which is in northwestern Germany. It's about an hour and a half south of Hamburg. So anyhow, that is an 8-foot by 11.5-foot table. All right, that is 8 foot by an 11.5 foot. And there is a camera here that you can see, it's labeled down there, called the 11-lane view. That's the one wide where you see all these tracks, because you can see 11 lanes, the 11-lane view. Okay, so the other side, pointing that way, I'm actually pointing the wrong way, but it works for this map. That is the Delmenhorst side. It is based on the city of Delmenhorst, which is where for 14 or 15 Junes, I lived with a bunch of my students from my inner city high school. We had an exchange program, and I took urban kids to Germany, and they lived there, well, for 3.5 weeks. They lived in the town of Delmenhorst, so it's kind of like my adopted German hometown. And I have a custom-made train station. So let's go back. I will try to lift this up. But if you look over there, that is a 100% accurate scale replica of the Delmenhorst train station that I scratch built myself, and the bus station. You can't quite see it. I will show you it with the station cam a little bit later. There are videos about me building it if you go to the back. But this will eventually be the town of Delmenhorst, Germany. But it's just a bunch of random buildings organized like it's Delmenhorst right now. Okay, so anyhow, so I have 3 contiguous loops, 3 loops that run all along the table. The other side, so one side is 8 by 11.5, the other side is 8 by 12.5, and then the middle is 6 feet wide by 30 inches deep. So you got 12 feet, 6 feet, well actually it's 8 feet, 6 feet, 8 feet. So my back run is 22 feet long, and then I have a 12.5, 11.5, 8 foot, and then 7.5. You know, it all adds up, but you get the idea. So I do it this way. Hey, did I just see Danny come in? Hey, Tom Couples. Hi, Danny. Now, along with my Central Station 3, what I have on my computer, it allows me, I can also run my system on my computer as well. So I also have the same exact thing, well, not the exact thing, because here I'm controlling 2 different trains. I can control all the trains from here, but because I can tap it into my computer, I can have different trains on this screen. So I can always keep direct control of every train here. Plus, I can go wireless and have it on my tablet or my smartphone. So if you're familiar with the German Z21 by a company called Rocco and Fleischmann, whoops, sorry about that, guys. If you're familiar with the Z21 by Rocco and Fleischmann, this is the Z21 on steroids. It has its own display screen, but it does everything the Z21 does, but it's double the price of a Z21 because it has much higher functionality and it has its own built-in display screen as well. So it can handle a little bit. But I run 3-rail. This is Märklin. It's German. They're 3-rail. They're the big 300-pound gorilla, 800-pound gorilla in the room. All right, let's go back to running trains because I think I've explained enough that I don't need to move the camera anymore. But yeah, I have control things everywhere. Like if I get up to go check on something over there, I take my phone with me. So if something crashes or all my turnouts are automated. I never use my turnouts, but they're all automated. Well, not all of them because I haven't put the motors and the decoders in. But Märklin is 3-rail. So I'll pop this up. Märklin is 3-rail. It comes in 2 types of track. Regular track with a third rail on it, but not pre-bedded. This is their pre-bedded track called C-Track, American C-Track. They also do a 2-rail version of this called Trix C-Track. So it's called C-Track. But you can see, if you look down there, you can see there's a little nub, and that's your third rail. So unlike Lino, where you have a blatant big third rail right down the middle, all you have here is a nub, and when you're looking at the layout like that, you don't see the nub. But the trains, the locomotives, have a ski. So every locomotive, this is technically called a shoe, but we all call it a ski because it looks like a damn ski. And that runs the third rail. That's your power pickup. And yes, I just crashed my cleaning trains. But Meriklin is the biggest manufacturer of model trains in the world, seller of model trains in the world, over Hornby, over everybody. But most Americans are not familiar with it because Americans don't run German trains. But in Europe, especially Germany, Eastern France, most of Scandinavia, into the Czech Republic, Austria, Switzerland, a large percentage, if not majority of guys run 3-rail trains. So did I miss anybody else coming in? You would like the measurements in the metric system. Okay. So it is about 7 meters long on my back run, Jean Ricard. It's about 7 meters, a little less than 7 meters, 6.8 meters. And then it's 2.5 meters on one side, 2.25 meters on the other side. So one table is 2.5 meters by 4 meters. The other one is 2.5 meters by 3.25 meters. And then the middle section is 1.75 meters by, what is it, 75 centimeters. One inch is 2.54 centimeters. So 30 inches is about 76.2 centimeters, something in there. So there you go. Hey, Manshed Railroad, welcome in. Yes, it did. Old Meriklin did. Yes, it does, Ifo. You're right. But again, that's, old collectors are going to talk about that. But even if you go to the old M track, because even all old American locomotives, HO scale, if you go back to the 50s and earlier, they were all a continuous third rail as well. The new Meriklin system, and again, I don't know that Meriklin invented this. We just call it the Meriklin system. But what it allows is you've got this pre-bedded track and everything you want to run, turnouts, adding power elements, adding lights, whatever. There are just little connectors underneath the track. You just run the wire right into that. No bus wiring underneath. And it just all runs through the central station. Adding decoders is a breeze. Everybody has seen this, but again, I have new people all the time, so I'll show this. Come on. So here is a turnout that's going to go in, a new turnout to replace one of the crappy ones. And it already has the decoder and the motor. I just have to set the digital address here. And I just pop it in. Nothing runs underneath. It's all under the track. pop, pop. My Central Station 3, especially these new ones, this decoder is a 74462 decoder. The motor is 74492. The decoder is 74462. Those are Merklin new MFX decoders, which means once I program the number on it with the little dial bit here, all I have to do is turn my Central Station on. It'll automatically read it. It's already loaded in. I don't have to program it, address it, or anything. I just set the address on this, put it in place. The Central Station 3 does the rest. It is digital for dummies, which, considering me coming into this train hobby only a few years ago, was nice. I could go digital easily. But that's what we call the up the ramp view. This is what I call the long view. I don't show this often, but you get an idea of the expanse. You can kind of see the full length. Some people get confused. This is just a bookshelf right here. This is just a shelving unit on the wall. That blocks your view of the trains going up the ramp. Well, that would be cool, plumber. I'm new into the hobby, and I tend to buy new. I have bought old twice, and I've been burned twice. I like it. I mean, you know, I do get complaints from people who don't like the lack of animation, automation, I should say. They want to see trains stopping at the stations. They want to see trains pulling off or going through switches and running different routes. But that's not what I need. So I didn't set this up to do that. I just need trains going in circles. I sit down here and I meditate. Hey, Pierre. I wouldn't say tens of thousands. I don't know if I have spent 10,000 on my train stuff yet. I might be getting close. Okay, maybe I have broken 10,000. I don't even want to begin adding it up. It might depress me. And Joyce might be listening in. Although Joyce has probably got it added up somewhere. Yeah, the trains stop when there's internet lag. But I just, you know, I got into this system by accident. You know, I easily could have gotten DC trains. The only thing when I got into the hobby at the end of 2015, at the very end of 2015, I guess I'm coming up on 7 years into the hobby now. I just wanted a German train. I just wanted a German train. It just happened that when I bought one, it was a Merklin, and they had their own track, and they had their own controller. Because this is their handheld controller. This is the version of your guys' power cab and everything else. It's called the Mobile Station. This technically is Mobile Station 2. And so, you know, your layout has to do what you want it to do. In the short time, like even on YouTube, I've been on YouTube since November of 2018, so I guess I'm coming up on 4 years on YouTube. I have seen some channels start. The guys are all enthusiastic. They start building stuff. They're making stuff. They're into it. they start getting popular. Their channels break 1,000 subscribers. They're getting lots of watch hours and everything else. They start doing live streams, and they burned out because what happened is they started listening to the crowd. They started listening to the people on the chat. Hey, you should be doing this. You should be doing that. You should try this. You should try that. And they got away from what they wanted. They started trying to please the audience. Now, if you are going to set up a channel and try to draw in people and make some kind of a money and whatever, if that's your intent, then yeah, you better please your audience or they're not going to watch. But if you just are like me, I'm not here to teach anybody anything. I'm here to meet people. That is the only reason I am on YouTube, is to meet people. I am an American who runs European trains, and there's like 10 of us within an hour, 2-hour driving distance. There was a club an hour and a half away, and I've told that story too many times that when I went to the club, after a few meetings with the club, I was very disgusted because they didn't want to talk about running trains and doing trains, even though the club had a train layout. It was basically politics, and racism. I don't want to paint the entire group that way, but really 85% of them, because they heard people dropping all these racial slurs and hate words against different types of people, and they would ignore it. Well, Joyce and I don't ignore it. You want to see the dark side of Joyce and me? All of you who met us and think Joyce and I are nice people, start really talking racist or anti-people around us. You'll see the other side of us. But, so I was on an island alone. I came to YouTube not to try to teach people to do something, because I figured most of you knew more than I did anyhow, but to show my trains and meet people. That's what I wanted to do. All right, Kiwi Dave. Take care, Kiwi. Hey, Kai is here. Hi, Lindy, sweetheart. Hey, Chris, if you're out there, although he's probably not home from work yet. And, but maybe he's listening at work. Kai, Opa loves you. Hey, Kyan. Trains, Kyan. Please. Opa's running his trains for you, little guy. So, that was and is my only purpose. Yes, I set up a bunch of videos where I tried to explain the Merklin system, but I wasn't trying to show everything you can do with the Merklin system. I only use 10% of what this Merklin system can do. I only use 10, maybe 15%. It does so much more than I do with it. But I was trying to explain it to my American friends who didn't understand what I was doing and how. All my videos, the Merklin Outsider, was me explaining it to my students, my friends, and family. And all of a sudden I had people from France and Denmark, except for Jean Ricard, and the Netherlands going, oh my God, somebody's doing this in English, finally, somebody's explaining it in English, yes, we're sick of the Germans. And they came to me, and my channel exploded in size for a bit because I was doing stuff they wanted done in English. But all of a sudden they're like, hey, show us how to do this. Show us how you automate this. Hey, build this, show us how to do this block detection system that we just saw Merklin announce. And I'm like, A, I don't know how to do that, although I watched it, and yes, I do know how to do it. But B, I'm not going to do it on my layout, and I'm not going to go out and buy all these pieces, especially at the time, because 5 years ago I didn't have a lot of money. It's not like I'm rich now, but I did have a retirement bonus to waste a little bit of it. But they wanted me to start doing these things that would have cost me a lot of money to go out, buy the pieces, order the pieces, and then go on camera, set up the camera, and explain, here's how you do it, and then try to demonstrate it on my layout when I didn't even want to do that on my layout. So I started I actually stopped doing the show for a long time because I just hit a point where I could not give people what they wanted. But I wasn't going to give them what they wanted just to appease them. It's not what I wanted. Yes, Evo. And that's the other thing I have. I'm an Era 6 guy. Most Germans are Era 3, 4, just like most Americans are roughly that era. Maybe even into what we would call Era 5, the 80s and early 90s. But most Americans who model trains, it's the 30s to the 80s. Most of the UK guys, it's the 30s to the 80s. There are very few modern era guys. This is why I always call myself the outsider. I'm an American doing German trains. I do 3-rail when everybody does 2-rail. I do modern era when everybody else does older eras. I do passenger trains when most people do freight trains. I'm new into the hobby. I didn't know a damn thing about trains or model trains until I started 6.5 years ago. All right, Plumber, take care. Thanks for stopping in. Hey, Bernard C., welcome in. Or Bernard, if you pronounce it that way. But in the end, my channel has always been about meeting people, entertaining. You know, if you go back to the first shows I did, because the first thing I posted were a bunch of videos I took of my trains. You know, running sessions where I didn't narrate or anything else. I had just filmed my trains as I had gotten into the collection. I was posting them on Facebook. And when my kids and my wife talked me into starting a YouTube channel, I posted those first. But when I started doing a show, my show was comedy. My show was about, my show was all about just being silly, because it's how I am. It's how I spent 36 years teaching. I was a failed stand-up comedian, stuck in a classroom for 36 years. And I taught my students and I entertained them at the same time. I entertained half my staff and pissed off the other half of my staff. And then gradually the comedy stuff started coming out more and more, and I started adding more bits and more bits, and now this channel is based on trains, but I try to keep everything train oriented. So I do Matt Clark, Railroad Detective, but trains are just an excuse to do a stupid cowboy cartoon. I do the parody songs where I take famous pop rock songs and I rewrite lyrics to make it model train related. Some of them are damn funny. I really think a couple of them should have 10, 20, 30,000 views. But in the end, I'm going to do my thing. And a lot of people have come and most people have left. The people that have stayed are the people I love. You know, the people that come here Friday after Friday. And there's a couple, I get emails from them. David Cook and Colin Whites have both emailed me and said, hey, I'm sorry, but I can't get in because of work, but I'm still there. Happy Valley, according to my chart, that's Era 1. I don't know what the USA designates. In Germany, Era 1 is everything basically up to the end of from creation of the rail up to the end of World War I. Era 2 is the period between the wars. Period 3 is right after the war into the 60s, early 70s. Period 4 is the 70s and 80s. Period 5 is the late 80s into the early 2000s. And period 6 is the 2000s. There's always an overlap because you don't just have a sudden change. So there's always overlap. But that's how I understand it. That's true, Jason. But I mean, you obviously, you go out and rail fan more freight because that's what you're going to see more often. If I were to go rail fan here in Toledo, 90% of what I would videotape is freight. In fact, 100% of what I'd videotape around me is freight. I would have to go uptown to catch the Amtrak twice a day. Well, 4 times a day, twice each direction. Twice going west, twice going east. And to me, there's nothing wrong with whatever you do. You know, that's a reason we all say rule 1, right? It's your layout, do your thing. But when you go on YouTube and you put it out there, people are going to let you know they like or they don't like what you're doing. And you, depending on what your agenda is, depending on what you want out of posting on YouTube. If you're going to see your YouTube as potential business and you want to grow and maybe you want to start making $12 a month, you know, you want to become monetized and you want to get to $12 a month or $30 a month, you know, well, there are things you got to do. But I've had this discussion multiple times with many people, and we're going to keep disagreeing because all the people that, you know, really think with a business mindset, there is a way to success. There's a way to success. There is a way. Here's how you do it. This is how you achieve success. I know how. I know why I'm successful. I know why this is successful. I know why this works. But you don't. Because whether you want to call it luck, randomness, whatever it is, the universe, you can see the patterns in the universe, and then the universe will throw you a curveball. No matter how hard you work, somebody worked harder. And no matter how hard you worked and became successful, somebody worked harder than you, did all the right things, and failed. And no matter how hard you work, there's somebody more successful than you who did it the wrong way. You know, the Inspector Clouseau theory, if you want to call it that. The guy that bumbled his way into success. There you go. Somebody's giving you. That's right. We could do that song. Although I think Ricky Nelson already did it. And you don't want me doing that song. You don't want me doing any song. That's why if you go and watch my song videos, only listen to the ones Joyce sings. Well, Ifo, I have seen, again, depending on whom you talk to, I have seen people that say even era 1s and era 2 have overlapping, since the transitions are usually something technological, mechanical or technological. And that's right, Christopher. Japanese, you're going to have freight train. But again, love what you love. But again, what are you on YouTube to do? Some people cannot understand that I came onto YouTube not to educate, not to teach. I did that for a living. When I sit here, I'm willing to answer questions. I'm willing to babble at you. But I'm not here to show you how to do something per se. I show you what I've done, and here's how I do it, and this is why I do it. But I'm not going to, there's not one person on here I am going to go out of my way to please. If it fits in with what I want to do, I'll do it. If it doesn't fit in, but I've seen people burn out on YouTube. Good friends, people I loved on YouTube, followed their channels for years, and they just burned out because they got lost in trying to please that audience, but the audience was always changing. That's right, Danny. And Danny, there's a reason Joyce and I love your channel. And if you didn't see Joyce's video about meeting you, I'll use the same word. Your fun, your enthusiasm, your, yeah, let's go, baby. That's why we watch your channel. In fact, almost all the channels we watch, it's about fun. It's the people who have fun. People who have fun doing, whether it's Charlie Bishop at Chadwick, or Alan at Dragon Junction, or Danny. We're not even necessarily watching channels to specifically learn how to do things, because I know how to Google stuff and look up directly if I want to do something. What I watch on a channel, when I'm watching a YouTube channel, I'm looking for somebody who's having fun, because watching somebody else has fun reminds me, have fun. When I'm watching somebody having fun, I want to have that fun. Hey, there's Digger Evans. So when Leslie, I'll give you a great example here. All right, I'm not a train spotter. I'm not a rail fanner. I won't say never, because one of these days I might just be crazy and go out as a joke, as a lark, and go to our Amtrak station downtown and demonstrate why I never film Amtrak, because the train might be due at 1 and left at 12, or it might be due at 1 and arrived at 4. Amtrak's very bad through Toledo. But I watch several rail fanning videos, but Leslie is one of my favorites, and Tim as well, because they go out and they have fun doing it. They have fun. They show cool things. Ian from Lehigh and Tyler from Lackawanna Erie Rail Fan. Those two guys put out professional level rail fanning videos, and they have fun. Hey, Z Fantasy Trains is here. Long time no see. Hope you've been well. And that's what, to me, it's about the fun. I want to be around people that want to have fun. When I was a kid, I didn't have a lot of people who wanted to have fun around me. They either wanted to have trouble, get into trouble, which they thought was fun, or they were depressed, and I was depressed. I had 3 friends by the time I was 16, 17. I had 3 friends commit suicide. That was not, you've got to try to have fun. And some people say, well, it's easy to have fun when blah blah blah. But you've got to have fun, and model railroads #1 should be fun. It shouldn't be about what scenery you have or how fancy a control system you have. It should be about, are you having fun? No. At that time of day, Chris, I know you're awake. I like to watch to see if you stay awake on my channel. I just love all your videos you're posting with the auto voice. Went to, or I forget how you did the one with us. Went and visited these American friends. Went to a Starbucks, had coffee. Solved all the world's problems. Then went outside. That auto voice is so funny, because I still hear you doing it, but you're using auto voice. But Bernard, here's the thing. I have yet to ride Amtrak. My son rode Amtrak, and my son rode Amtrak because he was inspired to ride trains by riding trains in Germany everywhere. And so he and some friends that my son went to Germany. He went to the high school I taught at, and he was part of the group of kids that went to Germany. So he loved traveling by train, and they wanted to go to a concert, but they didn't want to drive. They wanted, hotels were charging ridiculous parking fees and blah, blah, blah. And so he took Amtrak, and he amazed a lot of people at the station because everybody was lost and having problems, and my son was explaining how train systems work. And then he was also criticizing how the American system needs to learn a few things from the German system. But the problem is, Joyce and I would love to do a cross-country train trip on Amtrak. But Amtrak is so much more expensive. I know America's a bigger country, but in the same distance, I can go from northern Germany to southern Germany in about 8 hours with a first class ticket for about $120 at most. Maybe $150, $160 if it's high traffic period. But Joyce and I will get up early and catch the earlier trains where you get a cheaper price. Also, you get discounted prices. But I can probably get a cross-country high-speed train ticket, northern Germany to southern Germany, $120 to $150. Amtrak to Chicago, regular class, was over $200 a person. That's a 4-hour train ride. It would be cheaper to drive my car than to take Amtrak from Toledo to Chicago. About a 4-hour drive, 4.5-hour drive, depending on stops. That's ridiculous. The whole point of train traffic and commuting by train is it should be cheaper than driving by car. We're never going to have a cross-country train system for that because it would be cheaper to fly. At least at the rate we're going now, it'd be cheaper to fly. But I would rather take a train. I'd rather take a train than fly. When you're taking a train, you don't have to stop. There's a bathroom right there, blah, blah, blah. You know, you got a little more leg room. It's easier to sprawl out. You can sleep if you want to sleep. You know, I've tried sleeping while driving cross country. My family didn't like it. Hey, Well Chuffed is here. Welcome in, you two. Nice to have you here. But that's the problem is Amtrak is still too expensive for Joyce and me to warrant using Amtrak over driving our car. And the hassle saved is not worth the price. Yes, it would still be easier to take the train than to drive, but the cost isn't worth it. Yeah, we don't stop when we take the plane. Well. Now, Jean Ricard, let's not draw a line and stop history at one point. Remember, we had Robert Goddard doing rockets long before Wernher von Braun was doing rockets. It was all a progress and everybody was doing it. Yes, Wernher von Braun was a genius and he was a frickin' Nazi and he was brought over Operation Paperclip and helped our space program. No doubts about it. He took us to the next level. But everybody was doing it. And maybe that's how it works in certain parts of the country. But Toledo to Chicago, for example, is ridiculous. Joyce and I thought, oh, what the heck? We could do something first class and maybe go, we were thinking of going to, we were going to take Amtrak and then to the meet and greet at, down there in Pennsylvania. And the cost was just way too much. Although Jean Ricard, I'm not Jean Ricard, Pierre, you know, depending on how you're flying and where you're flying, sometimes you do have to stop. You're playing like with us going to Europe. We start at Windsor, we stop at Toronto, and then we fly to wherever we're flying. So there is kind of a stop in the middle there. But at least with the trains, you know, with a car, you have to stop if you want to go to the bathroom and blah, 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 and all that. With the trains, yeah, the trains may still stop, but you're not getting off and changing and doing all that unless you have to do a change. But, wow, did we actually get 42 people in here? Really? 42 people? That would be a record. I've got 35. It says 35 watching now. That's still pretty good. My channel hasn't gotten that many in a long, long time. Usually I get around 30 people watching at one time as a high. Possum Bio, you're right. That you're talking about what got me into model trains was going to Germany when I ran this exchange program. Going to Germany and riding the passenger trains and just sitting there watching the trains go, watching the scenery and going, oh, this is so much easier than driving. Because when the German students came and visited us, we had to drive them everywhere. Little Rock, Arkansas to Longview, $100. Wow. Excuse me a second. Be right back. As Kenny Everett would say, I need a little drinky poo. Gotta wet my whistle. There you go. See, I had no connections, no real connections to trains. I did have an Uncle Herb who was my Aunt Lova's third husband. The one she stayed married to until he died. Uncle Herb worked the railways, and he was into model trains. I think he had a model train layout in his basement. Uncle Herb was a really cool guy. But anytime the local malls had model train exhibitions, if I went to the mall because I worked at the mall or was hanging out with my friends, or later on when I was dating Joyce and we went shopping at the mall or to hang out at the mall, you'd see Uncle Herb there just constantly walking around. He just spent the whole weekend there. But it didn't bleed off on me. Now, looking at the layouts, I always admired the creativity, the artwork of the people. Because as a kid, I was making battlefield dioramas, making World War I trench scenes and World War II Japanese jungle battle scenes, Russian front scenes, Napoleonic warfare battle scenes. So I was making hills, and I was buying the figures and painting them. And in fact, there isn't a tabletop game like my kids play Risk, and I paint all the figures. Back when they had the cannons and the soldiers and that, I painted them. We have Conquest of the Empire and Axis and Allies, and I would paint all the figures. You're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. Every time you hit that stupid, well, like 2 out of every 3. Wow, Bernard, that's crazy. But, so yeah, that's what got me into it. And so I love, to this day, I mean, Joyce and I took a train from Liverpool to Edinburgh, and not only did we meet Philip Page, who I don't know if he's checked in or not, we met Philip Page, and we met, and when we got to Edinburgh, we met Chris. But the scenery was gorgeous. And then when we came from Edinburgh down to York, we ran along the North Sea coastline. That was beautiful. And then we crossed in, and you could see the Yorkshire Dales from a distance as we crossed in. We rode the train through the Lake District. It was all just, you know, and I could tell you all the scenery we see in Germany. When we rode from Dresden to Prague, and we crossed, I forget what that mountain range is going into Prague. But wow, that was pretty. That was pretty. And I've driven through the Smoky Mountains, all the Appalachians, every section of the Appalachians I've driven through. I've driven through the Rockies and all the other subsidiary mountains going through. And they're all beautiful. I don't think one mountain range is more beautiful than the other. I don't care how tall or how short. I mean, that section of Wales that Alan drove us through was just unbelievable, because it was totally different than any mountain range we saw. But the tallest mountain was only 3,000 feet tall, only. But man, what a view. Holy cow. Again, if you go to the video of our day with Alan, you will see just a little bit of what I'm talking about, where I was filming through the windshield of his car. Beautiful. Unlike any landscape I had seen before, and I've seen plenty. Welcome, Daryl. Okay, there you go. Thank you. So it was, you know, the worst thing you could ask Joyce and I is what was our favorite part of the UK. Now, having said that, Joyce fell in love with the city of Cardiff. Joyce is in love with the city of Cardiff. An unhealthy love. I'm starting to get jealous. I now declare you a knight of the rhomboid table. That's stupid. That's going to really encourage me to change the point out. Hey, Hot Dog Pilot is here. How are you? Yep, nobody there. Oh, did that camera freeze up? Why, it sure did. Okay, that explains that. Oh, let me see if I can wake it back up. Come here, you. Bear with me a moment. Don't panic just yet. There we go. Now it's working again. All right. Ah, there, you almost got to see 5 of the 6 crossing each other at the same time. That's the 11-lane view, as we like to call it. Nobody's there right now. This is the Dumb and Horse view. All right, Evo, good night. Thanks for popping in as always. Always appreciate your input, man. You're a go-to guy for me. Hi again, Joshua. Welcome back. See, I always forget with all the cameras. I give you the multi-view, but sometimes it's kind of cool to see them all full screen. Where did I have Groot? Trying to remember where I have Groot at. And speaking of the woman that is in love with the city of Cardiff too much.
I would not say that too much.
Yes, I say too much.
You say.
Well, I try to be.
Oh, it's cold down here.
Cold down here. Then warm things up. Let's get some stuff out of the way. Let this camera off the trains and doop, doop, doop.
To the left of your chair.
What?
It's telling you it's to the left of your chair.
What's to the left of my chair?
The Groot.
Well, no. Somebody was seeing the bust. It's that popcorn thing or whatever it is on one of. I forget which camera it highlights on, but. I got all kinds of animals down here, but I save them.
You lost the lights.
No, actually, my trains are not running great today, Bernard. They are running smoothly, but I am having my new class 245 because I've got it going down. I've got it going down this, the incline in the back. There is a bad point which I'm going to be ripping out maybe sooner than later now. That whenever it hits it, it creates a micro short. You'll see all my trains freeze for a second. That's not the video freezing. That's my trains freezing. So there you are. Your fans
Hi,
await you.
Jason. Hi, Leslie.
Oh wait, hang on. They can't hear you.
I'm trying.
They already complained that your voice in the your video was not audible enough.
Well, I know. It's because I'm quiet. Oh my God, I'm hitting everything.
Yeah. Project.
So.
Hey, hang on. Let me fix some things for you. If you hadn't brought that drink down, we'd have more room. Or if you'd let me build a bigger table, we'd have more room.
Oh, stop.
Oh, stop nothing. There. I don't know if that'll work or not. I'm trying to get this in a way where you can move the mouse around and still project. Use your teacher voice. Enunciate.
I
Project.
have to be feeling it. So, hi, Jason. Hi, Leslie.
Danny.
Hi, Kieran. Hi, Tom. Hi, Danny.
Andy.
Hi, Andy.
Mark.
Hi, Mark. I knew that.
Some Danish guy we don't want to talk to.
Hi, Sean.
I just said some Danish
Hi,
guy we don't want to talk to.
Chris.
You turn right around and say hi to him. That's loyalty out of a wife for you, I tell you. Where is it, by God? I think that calls for it.
Hi, Mark.
Is it here? Is it over here?
Anyway, and hi, anybody I missed. Hi, Bernard.
Where's the pickle halba? Where's my pickle halba?
It's right there.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
Oh, there it is, yeah.
Hi, hot dog pilot. I think you need a mustache.
We do not appreciate the lack of loyalty from you. You will be executed the way Siegfried was executed,
Oh, no. How was Siegfried executed?
hit by a tank. Don't play with my mustache. It just means it's happy.
Oh. Lindy, Kai, pick me up, Opa. Hi, White Walls.
Wow. We lost. We were up to 35 at one point.
Wow, I came. That's scary. How long have I been putting up my sweetheart? Oh, about 30, 40 years? Yeah, all right.
Almost
Yeah,
40.
about 40 years.
Almost 40.
I laughed at his jokes. I was a keeper. Hi, Daryl. You have my back? Hi, Joseph. Where are my papers?
See, there he goes again. Gottverdammte damn.
I did my own
I know.
video. But, you know, that was enough. I
What's
do
that?
have another one to do. I said I did my own video, so that was all right. And I'll do my own. Did my own.
You will be shot and asked to leave the country.
Well, this is, it's not a halba. Pickle halba?
Pickle halba. Pickle halba. Pickle halba. This is the pickle. This is the halba. This is the pickle.
First day. The Kaiser is landed. Oh.
Is that a pickle
Thank
halba
you,
helmet, or am I
Leslie.
just happy to see you?
I missed my line again. Thank you, Leslie. I really rambled. Hi, Happy. Thanks,
That's
Tom.
Edward. That's Edward. Happy is Edward.
That's right.
Happy Edward.
Happy Edward?
up, up, up. Sorry, guy. No, up, up, up,
Yeah,
up.
Oma can't pick you up, bud. She's not here. Kai, angry face.
Maybe he's trying to say Opa, right? Maybe that's just Opa.
We've seen a lot of the little dude. He's been delightful.
All right, bye, Kieran. Thanks for stopping
Bye,
in,
Kieran.
man. Always good to see you. Another one of the pillars, one of the guys that have been around this channel forever. And my resource guy when I need steamer
nothing
information for the Matt Clark series. He's my resource man. Hey! Yeah, like he'll understand. Give him a kuss.
Yeah,
Well, that
Goose.
was German.
I can't
A Kuss.
type. Yeah.
Kuss me.
Oh. So what's going on today?
Not much. I didn't have much. Other than I've got the trains running Steuerwagen first today for a certain obnoxious Danish
Wow,
person.
and he doesn't appreciate it.
And
Pretty crazy.
no, but that one bad turnout spot, every time the 245 comes off and hits it,
Yeah.
stall. Not every time, but enough.
Okay.
Be right back. Wife calling.
Okay.
John Ricard. You're just upset because you lost the argument about growing.
I saw that.
Let it go and move on.
Anyway, it's nice to have more likes and people, I guess. I don't know what that means. If you haven't hit the like button, though,
Well,
please
there were a
hit
lot
the
of
like
people, but
button.
everybody's dropping off now.
Yeah, well, it's getting late.
It's getting late. Oh, I guess it is getting late
Well, if you're
for some
in-
people.
If you're in England today.
Well, it's 11 o'clock.
In the UK, yeah. Well, you fall turned into a pumpkin at 10. Especially the metronome. Yeah.
Oh, these legs are not happy.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, I think that point's second up.
Wow, to a husband and wife.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, darn it,
Gee,
darn
Ralph
it.
Darrell, that was very kind.
Thank you, but we really don't want donations.
Oh,
I'm making-
he'll take it.
Well, yes, we thank you. We're not trying to be, but thank you. It comes with being monetized,
Right.
but I just want monetized for the perks.
Yep. You need to have a sound effect.
I need to have a sound effect. Well, Sparky does wigs.
No, that's not a sound effect.
See, I never seek or ask, so I'm always shocked when somebody does it. But thank you.
Where's Hot Dog Pilot?
What?
Where's Hot Dog Pilot?
I don't know exactly. Ask him.
Oh, it is 10. Never mind. It's 5 hours.
It's
yeah,
10
yeah.
before now.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Careful, Jean Ricard, or I'll
Bad-
make you a vegetable.
Bad math. $1,400 works, Bernard. We've been around the 24-hour system enough. Have Anthony wear Bismarck's helmets and Sparky wears wigs? I like this. I don't know if I really. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Is
Oh, I got all
Like,
kinds of helmets here.
well, he's got all kinds of sound effects already too. You know, like the yeehaw, the guys at the bar.
I don't know, maybe Daisy should say
Where's
something.
Nancy?
Or Nancy? Where's Daisy? Thank you. Thank you kindly. I have all kinds of hats here.
Thank you kindly. Yeah, he does.
This is the scariest one.
Yeah, for sure.
This was the hat of the Fopos, the Volkspolizei, East German police, and they were not nice. The only guys worse than them were the Stasi, the secret police.
Swine England.
The East German Gestapo.
Right.
No, not really. It really did not change. Going to East Germany, I actually found the accent a little bit easier to understand than other parts of Germany, because if there's one thing the occupation did to East Germany is people speak slowly and carefully. It's still 30 years since the wall came down, 30 years since reunification. If you see, like, we were last in the eastern part. We were in Dresden, Pirna in what, 2017, right? So 5 years ago. We didn't go in that part of the country in 2019.
We didn't? No, we didn't. Okay,
No.
yep, 2017.
So last time we were in that part of the Germany
All right, well shuffed.
was 2017. All right, good night, well chuffed to the two of you. Thank you for stopping in. But when we would walk down the street and you would see people that were old enough to have been born during the Soviet occupation and the communist regime, you see people in their 40s and older. They walked with their heads down, very in, and you might walk by and say hello, and they were very, very careful.
We don't say hello to people on the streets. We know better.
Yeah, so they were very contained, and when they did speak, now if you met younger people, they were much more outgoing. Mm-hmm. Like there was a model train shop that was run by a couple of younger guys. There was a model train shop in this little town called Pirna that we were living in, and which is about 12 miles, 15 miles east of Dresden. And in Pirna, these two guys, their dad, the one guy's dad started the shop, but dad's gotten old and he now runs it, but he's relatively younger. Maybe grandpa started it and they run it when grandpa can't. Very friendly, nice, outgoing, but the older generations, much quieter and harder to get a feel for. But as far as language, no, I did not see any great Russian influence. I mean, there is a Slavic influence. The biggest thing is, like, in areas near the border of the Czech Republic and Poland, some of the signs are in both languages. But the Germans are very careful to, you know, we don't speak Polish or Czech. You know, I guess you might call that racism to a degree, yeah, you know. And if you go into the Czech Republic or Poland, don't necessarily speak German, because they don't necessarily like the Germans. Yeah, I had a friend who was German. After the war, lived in Austria, but he was a German soldier during World War II. I got to know him back in the 70s and 80s. And when the wall came down, November of '89, when the wall came down, he came and found me and was drunk. And he was just partying. He couldn't believe it. Because we used to have a phrase, even in Germany, you know, sort of like when hell freezes over in English, when the Berlin Wall comes down. Yeah, that'll happen when the Berlin Wall comes down. And the wall came down, and he was just teary-eyed. He couldn't believe it. Family he had lost, friends he had lost. Oh, crap. I guess we'll try to share
Sharing
this.
that, Lindy.
This is a picture of our live screen right now and my grandson.
I still remember the first time we were in Berlin at the gate, Brandenburg Gate, and how we were just a little freaked out about standing in no man's land. You know, we'd seen all the videos growing up, and it was freaky to be standing there. And of course, it's modern day, and there's plenty of traffic and people, and you know, everything going on there. But our students weren't impressed with it, but Anthony and I were just a little gobsmacked, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, and the thing is, we have watched some of those parts change.
Mm-hmm.
Like parts of just when I started my exchange program in 2003, there's this area just east of, let's see, it's you've got Alexanderplatz. It's just east of Alexanderplatz. It's on the other side of Alexanderplatz Station and Alexanderplatz itself, the World Clock, and there's this fountain which is called the People's Memorial Friendship Fountain or something like that. And when we first went there, it was still, in 2003, that was still all these Soviet era Lego building block apartment complexes where everything looked exactly alike. Everything looked exactly alike. And because every year we would take our students and spend 3 days in Berlin. Every year we watched it change. They tore them down and then started building all these luxury high-rises and working class and middle class and shops, and we watched that transform over a 10-year period from all the Soviet era communist designed buildings of sterile and everything must look the same to
very lively by the world clock.
Very lively and vibrant by the world clock.
Yep.
Now in some cases it kind of sucked because a lot of nice little local shops, cheap places were replaced by a lot of high-end, expensive,
they were
bring in the yuppies sort of thing. It'll be Petra. I thought that was Sweden. I didn't know the Swiss did that too. Well, I'm sure everybody does it, but it's always Swedish. But there were a few places we watched Berlin grow and modernize. But that was one where it was really, really drastic, where you saw the change over a 10-year period from 2003 to 2013. Our last trip in 2015, 16, just how drastically that area changed, and an area in Berlin called Breitscheidplatz. That's where the Kaiser Wilhelm Memorial Church is. Breitscheidplatz. Yeah, how that place changed drastically over time.
Yeah, over 10 years. It was very interesting because we went back about the same time every year.
Yep.
And we could keenly see the changes going in there.
Well, I've been to Berlin 14 times. 13 times?
Probably 13. I don't think we went with that one group.
Well, we went with every group, including the first one.
Yeah, you didn't go with your...
Right, okay, so 13 times I took students to Berlin. But I haven't been in Berlin since 2015. My last two trips to Germany were 2017 and 2019, and that was the first time it was just vacation trip.
All right,
and that was just
Andy,
Joyce and me.
I will Try to remember that. Hot dog pilot's Andy.
Well, it's easy to remember because everybody is named Andy.
Well, there's that.
We had Warwick Andy
I
was
know
here.
you told me before.
Andrew
and I just
McDonald
could not
is Andy.
remember.
There's Moreland Andy. There's 156 Andrew Andy. There's
Right. Andrew or Andy. You were born on St. Andrew's Day.
well, that's a double Andrew whammy.
Yeah, it is. Is that a thing with the other Andrews?
Probably not.
How many St. Andrew's Days are there? Yeah, for sure.
Or fun. Just saying.
Yeah, Cayenne is a year and...
He's 19 months.
Yeah, he's almost 19 months.
Almost 19 months. 5 days away from
Yep.
19 months.
So he is, yeah, he's growing up fast.
Our one and only grandbaby.
Yep, we are spoiling him. Oh, you were born on Labor Day. Well, that was fitting. I think it was a Shrove Tuesday.
There's a joke not everybody will get.
Right.
I was born 6 days before Christmas, and my older sister was born on Christmas.
My birthday is occasionally on Memorial Day.
Yes, Joyce's birthday is sometimes also Memorial Day.
I just take the whole weekend.
The whole holiday. It's all about you.
It's all about me. That's exactly right.
It's all about you. Memorial Day. Remember that it's Joyce's birthday.
Ish.
Ish.
Yeah. Aw, Pierre.
And then we met. We met on.
Did not mean your mom didn't labor, though. I mean, good
Well,
golly.
actually, we met October 30th, 31st.
I think it was 31st. I think it was
We
Halloween.
met on Halloween,
Yep, we did.
but we didn't really meet.
Right.
We were at the same party.
Yep.
We actually talked to each other, but only briefly.
It was a costume party.
It was
was
this
31 accounts.
girl I knew from high school. It was her 18th birthday party, and she decided to do it as a costume party.
I think Memorial Day is the 4th Monday
Something like that.
of May.
4th Monday of May.
So my birthday's May 25th. So it is at the end of May.
Because U.S. has 3 military Memorial Days, specifically. Armed Forces
We
Day,
do.
where anybody who served in any of the armed forces, currently active.
Or
Then there's
retired.
Memorial Day,
Yeah.
which is for those who died in war.
Right.
And then there's Veterans Day, which is those who served
Right.
in military active duty.
Yep.
So we have 3.
The bank takes them all off. But not so much the rest of us. Memorial Day's a federal holiday, but the other 2 aren't.
Right. The other 2 aren't.
Yep. Oh, it's the last Monday of May? Okay. I knew it was something like that.
Last Monday of May, okay. I can't keep it straight. I always thought it was 4th because everything else is like 4th.
Yeah, well, like I say, it every now and then hits there.
Well, I did not. I was dressed up as a mummy.
Yeah, he was a mummy. He was all wrapped up.
I was a mummy.
I
The
kept
coolest
trying to undo his
costume
wrap.
at the party.
It was a good costume.
I was a wallflower my entire life.
Here, you beg on your own stream, bud.
I was a wallflower and in my entire life,
All right,
and And the weird thing is, I had just come in from out of town. I had just changed colleges. I had left West Point and was just getting ready to start at Ohio Northern University. Otherwise, I would not have been in town that weekend. I ran into my friend Bill. Bill said,
Yep.
hey, so-and-so's having a costume party tonight. You should come. And I thought, well, I don't know what to do. Okay, I got a pair of white painter's pants. I got a white sweater. I'll buy some gauze bandage and make a mummy costume. I ran into the mall, bought a mummy mask, and I bought like 10 tons of white gauze bandages, and I made a quick mummy costume, and I went to the party. And Joyce was there. Joyce, of course, didn't wear a costume.
Yeah. Apparently you were always a mummy, huh? Huh. Yeah, Pierre, that's a very American holiday. It's not celebrated in other countries.
So,
No, I kept picking at his rappings though, because I talked to him a lot. He was funny. Go figure.
yeah, I came out of my shell. I had always been in a shell, but putting the mask on, I was a totally different person.
Yeah.
Or I was finally me, I guess. The me my friends knew outside of parties and social situations. The me my friends knew from poker parties and sitting around home when my parents weren't around. So
Ooh.
we were there, and we talked to each other, but we didn't even exchange names. She was just one of a bunch of people I talked to, and I was one of a bunch of people she talked to. And, well, they've been running smooth for a few minutes, but yeah, it's always
yeah.
the 245.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
Yep.
Can see it.
And so, but the reason that's important is because it was at that party where I had talked to this girl one last time, and she was, because she didn't know who the person in the mummy mask was, and I had been chasing her for a year and a half, failing miserably. And at the party, she's like, who the hell is the mummy? Who the hell's the mummy?
For
And my
everything.
friends wouldn't say anything. When I finally took off the mask, she was like, it's you. And what it did was it put it in her brain. So a month later, there was a party, a dance. Joyce's high school was having a dance. And a friend of Joyce was supposed to have a date for the party. Her date canceled out. So this girl remembered, hey, there's this guy. And they tried to set me up with Joyce's best friend. And then Joyce's
Good night,
best friend
Chris.
canceled out, and I filled in. So neither one of us was supposed to be on that date.
No.
I was filling in for the boyfriend that canceled out, and then the other girl canceled out, and Joyce was filling in for the girl who canceled out. So neither one of us was supposed to be on that date. And that was
Yeah, it worked out all right.
December 16th, 1983.
Rain coming. Rain
December 16th, 1983.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, good night. He's starting to fall asleep.
Understood.
Well, it is getting almost at 5:30. Oh, look what's coming our way.
Yeah, it's gonna rain.
I see.
I think it could be a little windy too. I wonder if they think that.
So I was a mummy. Joyce did not wear a costume. Joyce was in sweatshirt and jeans.
Yep.
Her claim was she was dressed as a armchair quarterback.
Yep.
And you have to be an American to know that phrase. Joyce was not going to wear a costume. Then.
I didn't have a costume. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, it's only Halloween. There's a million stores you could have bought one at.
I didn't have any money.
Your parents might have helped you up.
No, they wouldn't have. I was gonna ask them. Let's put it that way.
Oh, there's that.
Love at first fright. Nah, we weren't. Nah, it wasn't love at that day.
No such thing as love at first
It
sight. I know
was
everybody
just
wants to say it, but there's interest.
Yeah.
There might even be lust at first sight. But at that party, there were a bunch of girls. And actually, I think besides the old girl that I was always chasing, there was the one girl I was kind of hitting on.
Mm-hmm.
What was her name?
Becky.
Becky.
Mm-hmm.
Becky Mikolajczyk, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was hitting on Becky Mikolajczyk.
In 2 hours. That's planning ahead. We gotta figure out what we're doing. Hey, Roy.
And I was getting nowhere. But it's interesting is that when I left the party, I had a couple of images. I kept, who was that girl that was talking to me? The one that didn't have a costume that was in the, but that was it. It was just quick conversation. Nobody knew, and that was the end of it.
Yeah, I wasn't special.
And then 6 weeks later, we were on a blind date together.
Yeah. Like, you remember him from the party. Really? Who was he? He was the mummy. Oh. He was tall.
Joyce likes tall.
I did like that he was tall.
She went as the future Mrs. Dodge. That's what she was dressed as. Because that's Joyce. Joyce is not necessarily a tomboy, but you are happier in sweatshirt and jeans than a dress. Yes?
Oh, yeah.
She reluctantly admits.
Oh, no, there's no question. I'm a jeans and t-shirt girl.
Jeans and t-shirt. She's a headbanger rock and roll girl.
Yep.
Will dance for the judges at the dungeons in York. Yeah. You had the whole party going there.
Well, there was only 5 other people there. She was dancing in the docket,
yeah.
Yeah, did you tell that story?
All right, goodbye, Daryl. Thanks for popping in.
Yeah, I got plenty of stories. Now we did the dungeon in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
And it was a big group, and it was fun. For sure it was fun. And at the, they had a jury scene, and a woman was accused of witchcraft or something like that.
Witchcraft, and, yeah, accused of witchcraft.
Right, and was doing a crazy dance in the streets. How do you plead? And insanity is the only way to plead.
Yeah. If you plead guilty, you're burned at the stake. If you plead innocent, you're tortured until you plead guilty. Or you could plead insanity.
Right.
And that would get you off the hook. If you pleaded insanity, you were off the hook.
But to prove your insanity, you had to show the judge the dance that you were doing.
To weave your magical spell.
Right. So the woman in Edinburgh
she was like,
did this. And pshaw. It was very disappointing, which they gave her a hard time. So fast forward.
So in York,
we decided to do the dungeon in York. Comparative, of course. There were 6 of us. It was a very small group. There was one other woman there. She was visibly pregnant. Anthony, her husband, and 2 Norwegians. And,
yep.
Yeah. And so, men, obviously. So anyway, they had some things that were same and some things that were different. And one of the things that was the same was they had the jury, and they had me come up on stage on the box.
Because they always pick a woman for the scary bits.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. But I was up in the box for that.
All right. Bye, Bernard. Thank you.
And I was a witch, and I pleaded insanity and show me your dance. So I wasn't going to do this. I danced. Much to the amusement of everybody.
I'm just grateful there wasn't a poll. Or I'm disappointed there wasn't a poll. Because Joyce was dancing her ass off in that docket. She had the 5 people standing around going, even the one gay guy was like, woo! The gay Norwegian was like, go! Go!
So anyway, we really had a lot of fun in that. But yeah, for the York, I was picked for every time they wanted a woman, because they weren't grabbing the pregnant one.
Yeah, they weren't. There were 2 women in the group, and they always want a woman for the scariest bits.
Dick Turpin shot me in the face.
Yeah, the highwayman Dick Turpin shot Joyce in the face.
They turn off the lights.
And they're really good at this. They turn off the lights and they move in quietly, and the lights go back on, and they're right in front of you.
And the lights, he's right there with a gun, and a flintlock or whatever.
Yeah.
And boom.
Dennis Mole, right? The worst part of this, the best part and the worst part is, I needed at least 10 more people there my age.
Right.
Because what happens is when they're doing the Dick Turpin, a famous Yorkshire area highwayman,
yeah.
is somebody yells from outside the little carriage cabin we're in, you know, supposed to be a horse-drawn carriage. We're all inside of it. Somebody yells, "Stand and deliver!" And I started going, "Your money or your life." Who tried with a mirror? Like one person laughed and the rest are like, "What is he doing?" It's like it was a perfect Adam and the Ants bit.
It sure was. I laughed.
As soon as he yelled it, "Stand and deliver," I started singing Adam Ant.
I was supposed to be watching the.
All right, Jason, thanks for hanging out with us for so long today.
Was
Thank
nice.
you.
I was supposed to guard the scepter in the coach, but
it got stolen.
Yeah, it got stolen, and they gave me a hard time. And I said I was shot in the face. What do you expect?
Dick Turpin shot her in the face. The lights went out and stole the scepter. And then the lights went back on. The scepter's gone, and the person running the carriage comes back in and says, "All right, they're gone. Are we safe? Is the scepter safe?" And they start yelling at Joyce, "You let him steal the scepter! You let him steal the scepter!" And Joyce is like, "He shot me in the face!" What am I supposed to do?
So, golly, it was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That was almost Black Knight from Monty Python and Holy Grail. Your arms off. Just a flesh wound.
Just a flesh wound.
I've had worse. Just a flesh wound. Your whole arms off. I've had worse. You're a loony. Right, I'll do you for that. What are you going to do? Bleed on me? How about you? You are a loony. All right, we'll call it a draw. Come back here and I'll bite your knees off. Dennis Moore. He robs from the poor and gives to the rich. Stupid bitch. Wait a minute. Hang on. Robs from the poor and gives to the rich? Oh, I've got this whole distribution of wealth thing. Oh. Oh my God.
Yeah, they kind of are. Huh?
So I like reenactment.
We like?
No.
Nah.
Not really.
Do we like to act out? Yes. You know that.
Jean Ricard, are you really asking, do we like to role play?
Shh. Lindy's on. Oh, wow. Hard C.
Damn you, lane 3 turnout
Well,
curses.
don't you have the pieces to
Yes,
replace
it's time to tear it all out and
But you
replace
got it, right?
I've got what I need to fix it, yes.
All right. See ya, Manched.
All right, Manched, thanks for hanging out with us.
Yes, that was a Robin Hood, but a little twisted.
Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Check it out, Jean Ricard.
Dennis Moore.
And then Dennis Moore is also Monty Python, but the TV show, not the movies.
Yeah.
With bandages. Well, that was the thing. All the girls at this party kept trying to take my bandages off. They wanted to see what was underneath the mummy's
He
wrap.
was a
They're like
mystery
wondering what was
guy.
under what's under a Scotsman's kilt.
Yeah. 'Cause nobody did know who he was. I asked.
There's
Who's
no
that
clues.
guy? I don't know. He was completely incognito.
Yeah, for most of the party, only my 3 friends that went to the party with me knew it was me. And they were not. I told everybody when we went in, Don't tell anybody it's me. Nobody was expecting me at the party. Don't tell anybody it's me. Although my height should have given me away.
Yeah. Are you acting all the time? I don't know.
What?
Are you acting all the time?
Am I acting all the time?
Yeah, Jean says. Sometimes I think Anthony's just acting all the time.
Jean Ricard, philosophical question. If it's all the time, is it acting? Or is this just who I am?
Yeah, he knows what's wrong with it. He even has the parts to fix it. Yeah, that was Life of Brian,
What was?
the battle where he cuts his arms off.
No, that was Holy Grail.
Oh, it's Holy Grail.
Holy
You're
Grail
right.
is King Arthur
Oh,
fights.
you're right.
King Arthur fights the Black Knight.
So,
yeah, the trains keep stopping because I've got a
he's
bad
got a
point
bad
that I'm
point.
going to replace
Yep.
apparently sooner than planned.
It's been really dreadful today. It doesn't help.
Because
if you-
apparently,
does it help if you
the
turn them
245,
around?
the 245 locomotive does have a low sitting ski. So coming off
Gotcha.
that ramp and
Becomes
hitting that turnout there, it's one of the 3 locomotives and cars that doesn't like it. Well, 4 now.
You should have gone as Lurch. Oh my goodness. Should you
I'm not
turn?
that tall.
Should you turn it around?
I tried.
That didn't help.
No, it kept decoupling
Oh, that's not fun.
because it's got a Miraklin coupler and a Roco coupler.
Maybe you should fix that.
I'm out of Miraklin and Roco couplers
Why in the
Oh,
world
the
didn't
only-
you
I've got
order new
one.
ones?
because at the time I didn't think I needed more. But then I just got a whole bunch of new cars and I took all the Roco couplers off. Now I could put a Roco coupler on and that might solve the problem that way. I could just put a Roco coupler because I do have a couple of those left. But yes, I need to do an order. But since my since phase 1 of my crazy money is now spent,
Yes. Well, he doesn't act like this all the time, John. But when he's on the camera or people are over or...
if I'm awake, if I'm awake and in a good mood, this is who I am. I just don't bring my bad moods on camera.
That's true.
Usually.
Well, yeah. Usually.
In fact, if I'm in a bad mood, I'm hoping the live stream
few...
cheers me up.
Yeah, I think we find a few instances where you clearly were. But Anthony is what he is.
You again, Jean Ricard, you got to ask the people who met us in the UK. This is me.
Well, you can see in his videos, he was cracking jokes at the train
National
museum.
Rail Museum.
Yeah, that thing.
The National Railway Museum in York.
Right.
Or the York National Railway Museum.
I was pleased with how busy that was.
Or the Railway Museum that is national, which is found in York.
Oh, do we keep you down here?
He likes to go with that because, well, that's all that play
I
out,
know,
right?
Yeah, I know.
At least it keeps him out of the living room.
Yeah, well, there's that. Oh, yeah, the whole family did that, so.
Yeah, well, that was the joke. But of course, Dad wrote that.
All right. Night, Leslie.
All right, good night, Leslie. Thank you for being you
Yep. And coming in.
and hanging out with us as you do so often.
Yep.
Honored and honored. Pleased as
Bedfordshire.
punch. What?
Bedfordshire.
Bedfordshire?
That's how you say it.
If it's Shire, the British pronounce
Sure.
it
Sure.
Sure.
Bedfordshire.
Bedfordshire.
Because he's going off to Bedfordshire. I thought it was cute too.
No, he's actually off to the town of Bedfordshire for the station again. It's-
I thought he was just being cute going to bed.
I'm off to bed for sure.
I think we're a little confused.
So you were giving him credit for a joke he wasn't
I
making.
was giving him credit for a good joke.
Well, Leslie, if you were still listening in the background before you logged out, Joyce thought you were making a clever joke. So just say you were and let it go at that.
We had our boosters yesterday. My arm still hurts.
Yeah, we got our second booster, so we're on 4 shots now.
Yeah, we had that discussion this morning. You think we could play tennis? No.
We were supposed to play tennis this morning,
That
but
would hurt.
but-
It's better now. Ow.
I have
It's a little
no
better.
side effects from the shots.
doesn't get
she
sick. I do.
has sore. The first time you didn't feel good the next day, and the last 3 times you've had a sore arm.
Oh, I had a sore arm every time.
Okay.
Yeah.
She had a real sore arm.
I
See, that's
don't
why you should
know.
have gotten it in your left
Sad.
hand, your left arm.
Why?
Then you could have used your right arm to play tennis.
We could have played tennis today. Maybe. Maybe.
Maybe. Well, we could have.
Ugh. I wanna toss
Tossing the
up.
ball.
Yeah.
You couldn't, as a lefty, you couldn't have just tossed the, or you're a righty, so you couldn't have just.
No. I don't know. It wasn't happening.
Well, it didn't happen.
Yeah, it didn't.
I'm just saying it could have happened.
Yep.
It could have happened, but you didn't let it happen. Like me
Yeah.
owning an Azuma. It could have happened, but it didn't happen. Like me owning a GWR 800. It could have happened, but it didn't happen because you would not let it happen.
Have happened.
So tennis could have happened today, but you chose to not let it happen.
Oh, man. Gotcha. Happy. That's funny.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
See, I should just put the one
And
camera
it
on so
just
you can see it
sits
whenever that
Yeah,
locomotive
it
hits
hits that point and it stops.
In fact,
and it
I will
starts up
do this.
really,
Where's
really
245?
slowly.
Where's 245? Who's on this controller? We'll just shut off 245 and...
So, anyway, I believe it's a real place. I just thought he was being clever. Oh, man.
Don't feel bad.
I do a little bit.
This is the problem with living with me, is I
Yeah.
make such puns all the time that when somebody else does that, you're expecting it to be the same thing.
I've been set up, huh?
Bedford is a town you drive through and don't stop.
I know, right.
That was like the one college town I was in, Ada.
Yeah.
People go, because I started at West Point, the United
There
States
was a
Military
good
Academy.
pizza
I started at West Point,
parlor there.
and then I went to Ohio Northern University. From there, tiny little college in a tiny little town, and you go, you tell people, what city is that? And you'd say Ada, Ohio, and people go, what gas station is that near?
Good, Andy. Oh, well. I think we move on.
Joyce would like this to move on. She
Yeah.
just thought it was being a clever pun.
Yeah, that's
and
okay.
It was an actual
Andy
place.
says he was being clever.
So
That's
the UK.
fine.
No, he's just sticking up now. The UK.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, just our immersion in the UK. We're trying to keep up.
That's like, again, the Monty Python skit. Oh, you'll usually find a hole in the wainscoting. 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 Sounds like a little Dorset village. Wainscoting. And Eric Idle dressed as a woman comes running out of a house with a little sign that says, wainscoting.
Yeah.
We've been mentioned on telly! And a little bit later he goes, down in the wainscoting, they've said it again! All right. Good night, March West Junction TMD. Andy, by the way.
Yeah.
Good night. Thanks
Good
for
night,
hanging
Andy.
out. Oh, that's right. You've got that open day tomorrow. Have fun.
DRS Depot open day.
DRS Depot open day.
Okay.
I like to go shopping on the closed days when nobody's there. 5-finger discounts. Best price of all.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes, there's a lot of Andys, dear.
There are a
You're
lot
doing
of
pretty good.
Andys here.
Half the people on the chat are named Andy. Just accept that. If you go to an American chat, half the people are named John. Okay?
Yeah, right.
So, American chats, half the people are named John.
Thank you, Andy.
The UK chats, half the people are named Andy. You're just good.
Yeah.
But see, watching your video, you can see how often the video freezes up. And this is an OBS.
Yeah,
OBS
it
has
is.
got a problem they have to correct. I
Yeah.
keep waiting for a service update.
Yeah, you can watch me because I'm always in motion. That's a little...
Yeah, you know
Sad.
the screen is frozen if Joyce is still.
Oh, that's sad.
What's
yeah,
sad?
I think we're emotional, I think is the word you're looking for, Andy.
Well, Danny, Southline.
Danny, that's right.
Okay, well, I thought you were still talking to Andy
No,
or
it was
Andy.
Danny.
Now that's Danny.
it.
Now, mind you, Danny and Andy have very similar letters.
Yes,
the A,
they
the N, the
do.
D, and the
I
Y.
know, so
He just happens to have an extra
Danny,
N
thank
there.
you.
Danny.
I knew that.
Yes, he's Danny.
I knew that, but I forgot for a brief moment.
For a brief moment. That lasted at least 10 minutes.
Didn't last that long. So you said
Oh,
something,
yeah?
then you fixed it. Oh, man.
Would you just turn off the weather app? You don't need a 5-minute update on the weather.
I like to watch it.
I know, you're a weather freak. You're a weather junkie.
I can have my...
She should have been a
I
meteorologist.
can have my own things.
That's what you should do on your YouTube channel. The weather. That's what you can do on your YouTube channel. The weather.
There you go. That's what I should do.
Coming on our YouTube channel is 5 things she was confused about by the UK.
Yes.
Including people's named Andy.
Is it Andy or Andrew?
Digger, the answer is half the time yes. Some Andy is coming in and some Andy is leaving.
That's pretty safe. Just randomly say hi, Andy, and bye, Andy. You're likely to hit somebody.
There are times where we've had 6 different Andys in this live
Yeah,
stream.
we have.
And sometimes even 7, but sadly.
What's for dinner?
But see, I
tonight?
always call Andy from March West Junction TMD. I call him Andrew because he was on Facebook. He's always Andrew McDonald,
Gotcha.
so I call him Andrew. But now he signs everything.
As
Take
Andy.
care,
Gotcha.
be well, all the best.
Well, I suppose you need to.
Andy.
Yes, we are Jean
Jean Ricard, we are going to Germany next June. Next June,
Yeah.
it's a month in Germany again, and then the following year back to the UK.
I think we just decided that recently.
Well, we knew next year was Germany all along. But yes, anytime we go to Germany, we're going to be in Hamburg because we always go to Miniature Wonderland. Always go to Miniature Wonderland. How often do we go to Miniature Wonderland, dear?
A lot.
We always go to Miniature Wonderland. So
yeah.
how often do we go to Miniature Wonderland?
We always go to
Thank
Miniature
you.
Wonderland. Sorry, I was missing my cue there.
Again!
Again!
Man!
I think I'm not listening.
Ever since the UK, you've
Um,
just been missing your cues.
You think I'm just a little in the clouds?
A bit.
Yeah,
It's been crazy.
sorry. I am not a storm chaser. I'm a storm follower.
She would be a
Okay.
storm chaser if I let her.
Yeah, which, yeah, I mean, that's a full-time job, though.
If there was a tornado coming down, she'd be running out the door going, "Oh, look! Look at the neighbor's house! Gone! Cool!"
I wouldn't. I'm not unsafe like that.
There's debate.
Okay, I'm mostly not upset like that.
Bingo! Friends, we have collusion.
You're safe in Denmark for the next couple of years. Man.
Well, I don't know. We might just decide Because we're going to try to redo the trip that we were unable to do in 2020 and then again in 2021.
We were trying
But
to
we're going
book,
to
yeah.
add some days.
I mean, we didn't book anything in 21. We were just hoping we could do it.
We're going to do a bit longer. And instead of going and spending time in Delmenhorst, we're going to just go up to Hamburg and maybe from Hamburg go up to Kiel. Because we've been to Lubeck, but we've never been to Kiel. Depending on how time would work, we could go all the way up to Copenhagen. But if you wanted to come down to Miniature Wonderland and we could do Miniature Wonderland, like you could come down the night before. Again, financing and stuff would be.
And you have to schedule it.
But we'll tell you what day. We'll tell you what day ahead of time, and you could come down to maybe spend the night in Hamburg.
And we would open that up.
Heck, you could even stay in the same hotel. We're not letting you sleep in our room, John. No.
We would open that up to anybody who could make it.
Because if you did stay in our room, you'd probably go out the window quickly. But and then we could make a day of it. You could hang out with us and go to Miniature Wonderland with us.
Yeah. CUE in that case. Happy Valley. We have to prepare Dennenwerker?
And then
Dennenwerker?
So, but yeah, we're going to go to Miniature Wonderland. We're also going to go to Porsche's Traumwerk in southeastern Germany and see his big elaborate layout.
Ooh, we're gonna go the place.
We're going to go to the Märklin factory and their big display layout down in Stuttgart, just outside of Stuttgart in the town of Göppingen.
Wow.
So we've got.
I think you may need to sub.
I need a what?
You may just need to sub.
Sub what?
Teach.
Would you stop?
Because that's like, that sounds expensive.
It's covered. Oh my God, woman. I just wish we could go right now because the exchange rate's really good.
I know.
I mean, technically we could, but she wouldn't want to.
Deutschland's in a lot of trouble, though. I'm worried about them.
Yeah, you can have the extra bed in another room.
I'm afraid I'm with them on that, Jean.
Ha! Finally! Finally!
Given the, see, those are your socks. They fit. I ordered some replacement socks. Forgot to get the things I need.
So
do another order.
So we're going to be doing Hamburg. And again, it's just how quickly after her work year is over, her work year, how quickly her work year is over, and how quickly she wants to leave. Because normally we'll leave like the day after key turn-in day. But if she wants an extra day of rest or something like that, we'll do that. Me, I'm just hot to get on the plane. Damn.
Is there a river somewhere?
Bunch of beavers. Here's a joke for you. What did the beaver say to the river?
Damn.
Close. What did the beaver say to the river?
What did the beaver say to the river?
Damn you. What did the river say to the beaver? Joyce.
No, what's going on in your,
Oh. Let's all jump. Ah, well.
the fourth child. Wow, we got
toasted.
Wow.
And reported. There we go. All right, now let's try this again, but just pretend like you didn't hear it the first time.
Okay.
All right, What did the beaver say to the river?
I don't know. What did the beaver say to the river?
Damn you. Now, what did the river say back?
I don't know. What did the river say back?
Yeah, well, fuck you too, buddy.
Oh.
That joke would have been a lot funnier if you just rolled with it at the beginning. Be the fourth child you never got. There's a scary thought.
Indeed. Hi, this is Sean Ricard, child number 4. He's older than the first one, but...
This is our
That
fourth
can
child, but he's
explain.
older. But he's older.
Yeah.
He aged quickly. It's a genetic thing.
It's
He
a
aged
genetic
quickly.
thing. And he's Danish. I don't know what happened.
But I'm bummed. Doctor, I feel like a billiard ball. Well, please wait at the end of the queue.
Right.
But I'm bummed. Shh.
That sounds eerily familiar to Air Canada.
Yeah, you'll notice we all jumped all over that bot. That bot got his business beat down.
Wow, sure was. Yeah.
That's how we beat
Hardcore
down.
white walls, white walls.
See, that's why everybody's a...
White walls, yeah, white walls was on it big time.
Well, actually, I
Yeah.
nailed it first. Whoever
Yeah.
deleted it last said that's deleted message. I had report and block user.
Gotcha.
And then he hit delete message.
That's good. Yep, that's why you're all here, helping. No, it's not why you're here, but it's why you're not
And
here.
to
One of the
thank you
reasons you're
all
not.
for that amazing reaction to the porn bot, I am doubling your salaries. Let there be rejoicing. I am doubling your salaries. Doubling whatever I paid you last week.
Oh man.
Get in on the family. Get on the family bit. Can we get the family ticket price?
Yeah.
I know, out of the three of us, Jean Ricard, me, and you, you're the only one that could pass for young enough.
Not that young.
Not that young. I don't know, you can't do 16.
No.
Put a couple of ponytails in. A couple little pigtails in. Little schoolgirl outfit.
Behave, Anthony.
I'm talking about getting in
I know.
cheaper to,
Yeah.
we'll talk about that other stuff later.
To Miniature Wonderland? Is there a family?
It'll be my
prize?
treat. I love Miniature Wonderland. Anytime I'm in Germany, I gotta go to Miniature Wonderland. I'll put it in typing. How's that? There. Now you have it in writing. I am doubling your pay from last week. There you go. Whatever I paid you last week, it's
Signed
double.
Me.
What's that?
Signed me.
Signed me. Well, it says Anthony Dodge, the Model Train Outsider. Just make sure you bring proof of contract and at least one of your Model Train Outsider paycheck pay stubs as proof of
Right.
income, and we shall double it.
All right. Well, it's 6.
All right, well, it is 6 o'clock, so what that means it is dinner time here. Not tea time, but dinner time here.
Mhm.
So on that note, we are going to have to shut everything down and start winding everything down. Once again, thanking everybody for spending a little bit of their
For
Friday
sure.
evening with us.
If you didn't hit the like button, don't forget to hit the like button.
Because remember, you could have spent your time Friday evening. You could have spent your time at a movie theater, a restaurant, an online porn site, you know, and you chose to come here. We appreciate that.
had 23 here.
What's that?
He says he had $23. Oh, well.
No, it's 11 o'clock there.
Oh.
Okay. You're having a bad
I
day.
need to go to bed.
You need sleep. You have not slept well the last couple of nights.
I
Yeah.
haven't.
This is not the brilliant scientist.
Thank you, Roy. You too. Yeah, no, I'm not. Oh, Andy, I'm glad.
As confused as you are, this might be the time to talk about an Azuma and an GWR 800.
Oh,
honey, do you remember when you said I could get them?
Tom.
Do you remember when you said I could get them, honey?
No. I'm awake enough for that.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye,
Take
Mark.
care. As
Ciao.
always, from Nancy.
Bye. Juice?
As always, from Nancy.
It's Lil, damn it. Choose.